Every morning is an opportunity to connect with Jesus. Whether you're looking to get started or looking to grow more, DDPC is for you. Join us as we connect with Jesus together.
Well, hello everybody, and welcome to this episode of Daily Devotions with Pastor Chris. I, of course, am Pastor Chris. I'm your host this morning. You have entered episode 1250, 1250. We're another quarter of the way through another 1,000 episodes. So that's amazing. And so to God be the glory for that. We've been traveling through the book of Acts. We're in Acts chapter 24, and I want to share with you, I want to reread a verse from yesterday's reading and really hone in on that this morning. If you remember, yesterday we read verses 22 through 27, and we talked about how how we sometimes people will wait until things are convenient before they want you. So remember, Felix said, Paul, I'm done with you, and he sends him back into the prison, and he says, I'll get when this is applicable to me, then I'm gonna pull you out of my pocket, right? And so verse 27 says this, and so this is Acts chapter 24, verse 27. It says, when 2 years had passed, Felix was succeeded by Porcius Festus, but because Felix wanted to grant a favor to the Jews, he left Paul in prison. So Paul's done nothing wrong. Paul's had a chance to defend himself. Felix is convicted by what Paul says, but he's not ready to make the change. And so it says for 2 years, Paul is just unjustly left in prison. And we know that when you are done unjustly, that there is a tremendous tension inside of yourself to want to retaliate and to fight. And sometimes you're called to fight, and sometimes you're called to just wait. And that's what Paul was called to do, was to wait. 2 years. And we know here's the thing, and this is what we learn from Paul, is that God doesn't waste anything. Paul didn't waste those 2 years. God will often use, hear me, because some of you are in this waiting place, and you're just so tired. I'm tired of waiting on building our building. I'm tired of the no's. I'm tired of the it's debilitating. We're just trying to do good in our town, and people want to get political and crazy and whatever. And so, it's been 7 years, and we've spent a lot of money and time, and it gets tiring. It really does in the flesh, but I know that this is what the Lord wants. And so we just keep on going. And so I understand it can get very, very exhausting, but we know that God doesn't waste time. And so God uses that waiting season to shape Paul, and he uses those waiting times to shape us for his greater purposes. Think of the Old Testament. If you remember Joseph had a dream about his brothers bowing down to him, and he shared that in Joseph in the coat of many colors. Remember that? And he gets thrown into the pit and sold in Potiphar's house, and then falsely accused and sold into Pharaoh's home, and not Pharaoh's home. His name's slipping my mind. But anyway, and then eventually his brothers do come and bow before him, just like he said that they would. Well, Joseph, from the time that he had that dream, he was about 17, until the time that that dream was fulfilled, he was about 39. So from start to finish, you're looking at about 22 years before the dream became a reality. And then David was anointed by Samuel to be the next king of Israel, but he doesn't get crowned. He gets anointed when he's about 15, but he doesn't get crowned for about 22 years later. And and so, I know that waiting decades for a fulfilled promise stinks, and it makes you feel forgotten and sometimes even hopeless, right? And maybe you're in a holding pattern today. Maybe you're waiting for that job or that big breakthrough or that healing. I shared a little bit about that on Sunday. We've been waiting 17 years for that healing, or 16 years for that healing. Your relationship, man, you've been praying for that marriage to be unified, or for the relationship to be restored, and it feels like so much time wasted. But I will tell you that in the economy of God, nothing is wasted, because waiting seasons are training seasons. Theologians say that it took Noah between 75 and 120 years to build the ark. God said, build an ark, it's going to flood. And so Noah got to building the ark. But it took him like 100 years to build it. And can I tell you, he learned a lot in that period of time. Why? He was in training. Think about the fact that after the flood, it would be up to Noah to give all direction, all counsel on how to repopulate the earth, how to govern a new world, how to hear from God. Like, it was on Noah. That is a massive responsibility. But here's the reality. If you take a seed and you plant it in the ground, in the soil, it looks like it's doing nothing. But under the ground, those roots are growing deep. And when the time is right, plants will burst out of that soil, and they will come alive, and they will produce flowers and sometimes fruit. During these 2 years that Felix had Paul kept in prison, Paul's faith just was getting rooted deeper and deeper and deeper. He grew in this confinement because God was preparing him for his last stand, which would be in Rome. So, guys, here's my challenge to you on this Thursday afternoon, August 28th, 2025. Trust God in the waiting, because faithfulness is faithfulness in this hidden seasons for you are fruitful and visible seasons. He's preparing you. It's in the hidden seasons that God's preparing you for the fruitfulness and that which is visible to other people. It's the roots have to grow deep before the flowers can bloom. So what feels like a delay may actually be a design. What feels like a delay might actually be a design. And so I just wanted to kind of punctuate and tie this whole chapter up with that statement that, man, sometimes we just feel like it's just stuff just happens and it happens and it happens, and we just get pounded and pounded. But that delay, that holding pattern, may not be for your bad. It may be for your good. God may be training you and showing you something. So listen to the Lord, and allow Him to do what only He can do in you, through you, for you, because of you, and by you, because of Him. Amen. All right. Well, listen, guys, I hope that this has been a fruitful week for you. I pray for you. I'm believing that God has blessed you through Acts chapter 24. Beginning Monday, we're gonna crack open Acts chapter 25. We only got 3 chapters left of the book of Acts, so about 3 weeks left, and we're going to be done. And so, man, have a great weekend. It's Labor Day weekend. Doesn't mean you skip church. You need to be in church. Be in church. Be in church. Be in church. Look to your neighbor. Say, yo, we're going to church on Sunday, okay? I've got a barn burner, man. You do not want to miss Sunday. We're wrapping out our series on peace, and you will not want to miss it. Ladies, get signed up for Women Get Real conference. I'm telling you, make an investment in yourself. Get to that conference. It will be worth it. Bring your teenage daughter with you. It will be worth it. Get signed up for it. Guys, be looking out. We're going to be launching men's group soon. What do you call it? Next Gen has launched. We're ready. We got Royal Rangers and girls ministry for our kids. Started yesterday, and so that's going on. Forge is going to be kicking back up again this week and this coming week, and then, like I said, men's and women's ministries, young adults has been going all through the summer. Really excited about that. They're the time that I'm cooking this, the time that I'm recording this, they're cooking chicken parm. So. Awesome stuff. So anyway, missions coming up, man. You do not want to miss. You do not want to miss our missions convention. It is going to be our epic. It's going to be our best ever. I'm so excited about missions convention. Please make every effort to be there. That's in September 20th and 21st, and that's it. That's all the announcements I got for you today. God bless you. Have a great weekend, and I will see you on Monday. Bye bye.